Alrighty, so let's see, I've got 1,304 outfits in my locker. I think I'll just start off with this for now. I'll go through backblings, pickaxes, and gliders, and the rest of the cosmetics if anybody else is interested, beyond just the ones that I have here. For all of the crew skins, I have, starting with Alley here, I've got them all separated by series, and then obviously it goes by, or in alphabetical order from there. But I'm missing only 3 for the crew skins. So as you can see here, I've had all 3 of them to unlock that other, or the alternate style. Isabel, Bones. Try to bring all the newer ones up to the Galaxy style just to remind myself that they have extra styles. Demos is probably my favorite. Galaxia, that was the first crew skin that they offered. And sometimes throughout here, I do try to show the alternate styles as well. Also to remind myself that some of the skins do have alternate styles and are not just reactive in some way. Helps me try to figure out locker loadouts. Sloan. Still missing that last Triarch. I have started collecting more of the Dark series. I don't have too many of them. As for the DC series, I think I'm only missing 2. Now, I started this back in Chapter 2, Season 2, so I've been collecting for quite a while. But not nearly as long as most people out there. And I believe all the music that I have playing, or allowing to play, is all of the Epic games, so none of it's copywritten. Frozen series. Polar Appeal, Chapter 3, Season 1. That's an awesome winter event. And they still had the islands being completely frozen over. Gaming series, I'm currently only missing 4. Got the Gears of War, Alloy, and then Ivor from Assassin's Creed. But Ezio had to come first. the original Laura Croft, along with her Golden style, her anniversary. Craters with the armored. Psycho Bandit, luckily that came back. Along with the Street Fighter. Kind of a decent amount of icon series, but I don't really collect those. At least not too often. Neymar Jr. Chapter 2 Season 6. He was the first icon series to be featured in a battle pass. Now he does have a transformation style, which is actually pretty cool. You can always look that up. I believe Tabor Hill has a video on him from a long time ago. Santa Shack. Lava series. Not too many of those either. Kind of like the Dark series. There are some that I can't get anymore, which is fine. At the Marvel series, I have all but one, Shang-Chi. This has been a really long grind. But it also didn't start off with me wanting to collect everything, just the characters that I enjoyed, and then I got so close to the end that I figured I may as well try and collect as many as I could. The original Deadpool, along with his X-Force style. Loki Sun. That was a crew skin, even though he's not in the crew. Same with Green Arrow from the DC. Those were both crew skins, but obviously they could only put them in one place. Spider-Man Noir. I have the entire set of Noir comics. Those are some of my favorites. Really wish they'd bring in the Punisher from the 1930s. That version was really cool. The Shadow series. Just a couple of them, but they always come around. I don't think there's too many more from the Slurp series. I know I can't get the original Ripley, which is also fine. I have the Poseidon version of him. I also have the Star Wars here. A decent amount. I also have the original Darth Vader from Chapter 3, Season 3. A lot of people were upset that he didn't have a super style. And after that we get out of the series and into just the normal setup and the regular skins that used to have rarities but they decided to get rid of. Yeah, with Agent Jones, you can see throughout the season you were able to collect new styles for him. You had quite a few, this being the final style for one of the jumps. Here's my alias. Now I do try to have the super styles on for the majority of the skins that were in the battle passes. That way they stand out more in the locker. And when it comes to sets of default skins, kind of like the Harry Potter one that we just passed over, I try to change the style. That way each one kind of stands out on their own. Or if they're like Azuki there, I choose the style that I like the best. Now, back in Chapter 2, Season 2, I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. I did manage to get to level 100 within first or 1 month, and then they were lucky enough, or I was lucky enough for them to extend that out, but I don't have the alternate styles for the other characters because I didn't realize that you couldn't get those later on. Which is fine. I have the Shadow Meowscles, so that was the main one that I wanted. But I do regret just a little bit not having unlocked the others. Bites, that was it. They forced you to use them to complete quests. He became very unlikable by everybody who really didn't like him. Caper. I do have a few of the champion skins. Most of them won't be making a return. Not sure why they decided for the original ones to never bring them back, but that was their choice. Chrome Punk, you had to gain 50 account levels during that season, and it was near the end. So most people had most of the quests done, so it was one heck of a grind. Especially when you didn't have creative maps. Or at least I didn't have any creative maps that I knew of. I'm not sure if Chapter 3 Season 4, if those were really introduced. Fabio Sparkleman, he's one of my names. I do have all of the styles unlocked, but the kids really like the pink version, and it's growing on me. Frankenstein's monster. I really wish the mummy would return. Along with Frankenstein's bride. But I doubt that's gonna happen anytime soon. Here's Specialist Maya. Only thing I wish I was able to do is put that bandana on. Of course, that was at the start, and I had no idea about the style locking in. But I had designed her with the green helmet and the darker uniform to hide in the smaller bushes. Back on the Chapter 2 map, the small bushes could not be destroyed, so I used to hide in those to make it to the end game. Mostly because I was not very confident in my ability to fight. But I still do the same thing nowadays. Grizz. He's a fun character to play as every now and then. He's very bright. Do have Indiana Jones. I run him every now and then. Now Joey there has a built-in style, and when you use that emote, he unzips and reveals the alien girl hiding beneath his skin. Weird, but it fits the season at the time. And I do have a preset. Seer. He's one of my favorites. Probably number 2. Next to the new visitor. I didn't have, or I wasn't playing at the time in order to get the first version of him. And Chapter 2, Season 3 I did not complete. I made it to about level 73. It's right after I first started, and nobody else that had gotten me into playing the game was playing that season. So, being introduced to it by your brother-in-law and nephew, only for them to not play it was kind of difficult, but I did try. The original Alexa, that was the first anime cel-shaded character that they added into the game back in Chapter 2. And if anybody leaves any comments wanting a deeper look into any of these characters, I can always do that, or you can obviously probably find more videos on that specific character on YouTube. YouTube has everything, mostly. But if you're looking for more in-depth, I can do that and post another video and show off everything that the character has. Assuming they have other styles. Metal Mouth always reminded me of Army of Two. It was a great two-player game. Now, a lot of the skins that I have, I've gotten due to really cheap bundles. When other content creators get to choose content to be put into the item shop, most of the time they have something that you already have to make everything else so much more cheaper. And every time you go and get the cheaper ones, a lot of them have the same items, so it's just a cascading effect, and you end up with a lot of items that you can put together and build up your locker with. Order Remnant, that used to be my main for a long time, all the way up until the new visitor was introduced, at least for live events. Do have the Predator. Now he also has a built-in emote to remove his mask and roar like he does in the movie, the original. Now as you can see, I kind of have a little bit of everything. When I started off, I was just trying to collect, something from every set, and then wanted to collect something from every season, and then I wanted to try and collect everything from a single season, like Chapter 2, Season 2, and it's kind of built up from there. One thing I've noticed is movie characters, kind of like Creed, that hasn't been back, I think, since its single appearance. So movie characters I try to grab up when I can, mostly because you never know if they're ever going to make it back into the shop. Snake Eyes hasn't been back in a very long time. I mean, he was in the shop for a long time when he first showed up, and hasn't been back since. I believe everybody was complaining that he had been in there for days after days, and then he never returned, and now everybody's wanting him back. When they remember that he's actually in the game. Load used to sell the best sniper rifle back in Chapter 2. Or at least one of the best. With the exploding sniper rifle, you could shoot around corners. So when you're in a high perch and they were hiding behind a tree, it was no problem. At least that's how I used to play. Man. Did used to play the use the Origin a lot until I got the Visitor. Chapter 3, Season 2 was when they had that giant war going on the island. That was really cool and fun to be a part of. Sadly, though, it was also when the war in Ukraine started, so a bit of a controversy. Hard to believe it's still going on. Volpez. That's technically another crew skin, more of a legacy crew, before you've got the legacy styles nowadays. You had to be subscribed for 6 months in a row, or just 6 months after collecting the first item in order to unlock him, which that was a long wait. But when you get something else extra like that for free, there's really no room to complain. Finally nearing the end. that is my locker. Well, just let me know what you think, or if there's anything else you want me to go a little bit more in depth with, at least with looking at. So, I mean, I've got quite a few from Chapter 2, Season 2, all the way up till now. So yeah, just let me know. And I can do a little bit more in depth. So many characters to look at. And the amount of collaborations that they are planning on bringing in is just going to be absolutely insane. But yeah, thanks for sticking around and looking at my locker.